the ram head DOORTEX, the Appalachian DOORTEX, whatever you want to call it. Some slight variation. There are some elevators in buildings where they actually go up to the ceiling and there's no like real header. And so for those types of elevators, we can just create an artificial header with a 4x and then set it in place by launching our Paratech struts up on either side. Granted, this one is pretty long. We just didn't feel like cutting our lumber, but we could probably cut it down to maybe 8-foot long section. If our elevator shaft is down into the space down here, our classic ram head goes through the frame to the header, and our resultant forces, doesn't really matter what we're doing, where we anchor a device, the resultant force is this loaded line, this yellow loaded line. And so if we have a resultant force going down this way, or even out a little bit, because we aren't going to quite get this into the shaft, so really this package is going to be over, and we may have some edge protection down there. So that's not a problem. What's going to happen is it's going to put force on this easel leg down this way, and that's going to compress against here. So it makes it inherently stable. Even with a directional here, this is the loaded line, I could put a descent control device here, like a Maestro or an MPD. The downside to that is hoisting somebody out of the elevator. You got to send your mechanical advantage down into the hoistway. So depending on things, that may be a challenge, or it might be undesirable. Or you could keep this as a pulley, route your main working line, and mount your descent control device, MPD, your Maestro, whatever, here, but then you're limited in your mechanical advantage to the length of your easel leg. Or the third option is, if you have the winch, use it. Now, this looks kind of confusing because in order for us to actually do that Appalachian DOORTEX effectively, we needed the inner tube up there through the gin pole head. And if we do that, we don't have the ability to put an inner tube down low. And the problem with the skyhook is you can only pin it into an inner tube of the Vortex, not an outer tube. So if we want to actually utilize this effectively, we got to figure out a way to attach it to an outer tube. So we could probably lash and frap directly on it, but that would be a challenge as far as rotating it around. And so we just took a spare inner tube and then just lashed and frapped together. And then we took an Aztec and choked this up to the gin pole head. And so everything is relatively stable and nothing wants to move. Even though it's a little bit off axis, it's still part of the frame and it's very minimal. So yeah, you just get creative with the rigging. So lash and flap at the bottom, and then we start candy canning it, the black all the way up, and then finish the lash and flap on the top with the excess black webbing. So really long piece of webbing right here. So our yellow is our working line. Into our skyhook Harkin 40 radial winch, we have a rescue sender here to go hands-free if we lose control on the lower, or if we need to stop, we can do that. A prusik rope grab will work here just fine as well. And then belaying. Well, we can belay separately on the ground over edge protection. That's an option. If we feel really comfortable with the integrity of our frame, we're only lifting one person at a time. That's even more of a reason to justify putting your belay system here at the head. In this case, just an ASAP going through a change in direction. Pretty basic and standard. We still want to hobble the legs. We hobbled the front A-frame members and then put something on top of that so there won't be any trip hazards. Yeah, a way to do your modification of your Appalachian DOORTEX with the winch.
So